Hi, I'm Max. Welcome to Timeline Movie Recap.
The film opens by showing 4 robbers who have just arrived in front of a bank, getting ready to carry out their plan. Interestingly, only 3 of them go inside, while 1 person stays in the car. This guy's name is Baby. Despite his young age, he's actually the key to the success of every heist. There are dozens of police cars chasing him. Sirens blare non-stop, but Baby just focuses on listening to his music, acting like he doesn't care how many cops show up. He's completely confident that none of them can match his driving skills. Soon after, Baby spots 2 cars identical to his own. He uses this chance to escape from the helicopter's line of sight. Eventually, they arrive at a parking lot to switch cars, fooling the police once again, and this is how the story of Baby Driver begins. Baby is a young man who's totally in love with music, which is why his earphones almost never leave his ears. We also see how cheerful he is whenever he's alone, but this side of him only shows up when he's by himself. Whenever he's back with the other robbers, Baby is known for being the quiet type. He barely says a word, which annoys one of the crew members named Griff.
Baby, are you a mute? No.
For God's sake.
Keep his white shirt clean, mother.
By the way, the mastermind behind these heists is a middle-aged man known as Doc. That day, Doc is the one responsible for dividing up the loot. But while the others do all this for money, Baby himself is only robbing banks to pay off his debt to Doc. After working as the getaway driver for so long, he only has 1 mission left before his debt is cleared.
Until we were square, but what the heck? I'm gonna need you behind the...
Baby keeps all the money he's saved from these jobs hidden under a floorboard. All this time, he's lived with his foster father, Joe. Uniquely, Joe is both deaf and mute, so the 2 of them communicate using sign language. You might wonder if Joe knows about Baby's work. Yes, from the very start, he knew exactly what Baby was doing, and of course, Joe never stops telling him to quit that line of work. But it turns out Baby isn't just a music lover. He often creates his own chords by using recordings of people's voices around him. Baby secretly records his conversations with Doc and turns them into music. Out of all the tapes Baby owns, the best one is titled Mom. But ever since that traumatic incident, he's never dared to listen to it again. The next morning, he heads to a diner for breakfast. All he wants is a simple meal, but fate leads Baby to meet a waitress there who instantly steals his heart. Her name is Deborah. Not only is she beautiful, but her friendly personality makes Baby fall for her even more.
Hello? Hello, testing. Whoa, are you recording this?
I'd like that too.
So when Baby gets home after breakfast, he can't stop dancing, enjoying the romantic song that Deborah usually hums as she walks down the street. But in the middle of his happiness, Doc suddenly calls again to let him know about the next heist schedule.
Oh, there you are.
Doc never uses the same crew for every heist. He always teams up with different criminals to outsmart the police. But since nobody can replace Baby as the getaway driver, he's become irreplaceable and pretty famous among the other robbers.
Why is he listening to music all day?
He's got tinnitus.
One of the crew, Bat, starts doubting Baby's abilities, especially because he's so young. But Doc explains that he's known Baby for 10 years. Back then, Baby accidentally stole Doc's car just to have some fun-ot, realizing it was packed with dozens of kilos of drugs. At first, Doc wanted to punish him, but after seeing Baby's skills, he decided to hire him instead. Since then, Baby has been working to pay off his debt. Long story short, the meeting begins. Throughout the planning session, Bats grows more and more annoyed with Baby, who's just lost in his music, seemingly ignoring the whole plan.
start in the AM.
I got a question, Doc. Why would I believe phones over here heard the goddamn word you said? He ain't even listening.
But his assumption quickly changes when Doc asks Baby to summarize the entire heist plan turns out.
It's the Michael Myers Halloween mask, but the target is an armored truck, a perimeter truss, and
Baby can focus on two things at once and delivers the summary perfectly.
Fuck your baby.
That's my baby.
The next morning, the heist begins. Bats and two others are going to rob an armored truck, and as always, Baby waits in the car, listening to his favorite music. A few minutes later, Bats rushes back to the car with bags full of cash. The plan goes smoothly until suddenly, their car is blocked by a Marine who just happens to be at the scene. This Marine is determined to stop them. He pushes so hard that he almost causes a major accident.
Got your ass now.
Bats, furious, is about to shoot the Marine, but Baby swerves the car in the opposite direction, saving everyone and making sure Bats doesn't go through with it. But trouble strikes again when they get stuck at a red light. With no other choice, they escape by hijacking the car at the very front of car belonging to a young mother.
I have a child!
Get out the car. I got one too. Get the fuck out.
Whose baby happens to be in the back seat. Bats is annoyed when Baby, instead of driving off immediately, takes the time to get the baby out of the car first.
Let's go.
Long story short, once they get back to the hideout, Bats warns Baby about his actions earlier, telling him that if he tries to save someone like that again, he won't hesitate to kill him. And Bats isn't bluffing after returning from a coffee run. He's already killed one of the crew, Jedi, just because Jedi accidentally left his gun at the scene. That night, before everyone goes their separate ways, Doc tells Baby that his debt is finally paid off. But before he leaves, Doc asks him to get rid of Jedi's body, which has been hidden in the trunk all this time.
Drive safe, baby.
Seeing the car being destroyed brings back memories for Baby memories of losing both his parents in a tragic accident. Ever since that day, Baby's hearing has been impaired, and that's why he always listens to music to help him hear better. Anyway, now that he's finally free from his debt, the first thing Baby does is find Deborah. At first, they just hang out at the diner, talking and getting to know each other. But since Deborah's shift ends, they continue their date at a laundromat, growing even closer as they talk. Deborah and Baby even share the same dream, traveling the country together, each driving their dream car. And that night, before saying goodbye, Baby works up the courage to ask Deborah out on a real date at the city's most expensive restaurant. Even though Baby has a stash of cash saved up from his previous jobs, he knows he needs to move on with his life and find an honest job. Joe suggests that Baby use his driving skills as a pizza delivery guy.
That was fast.
I know.
A few nights later, Baby keeps his promise and takes Deborah out to a fancy restaurant. But in the middle of their happiness, Baby is shocked to find out that someone else has already paid their bill, and that person is none other than Doc.
But you see me, why?
From the start, Doc never intended to let someone as skilled as Baby go. Even though Baby's debt is paid off, Doc still wants him on the crew and promises an even bigger payout this time. But Baby, who just wants to turn his life around, tries to say no. Doc gets angry and threatens to kill everyone Baby loves, including his foster father, Joe.
So what's it gonna be? Behind the wheel? Don't step.
Well,
What about you?
The next morning, Doc and Baby visit a post office, which is going to be their next target. Baby is told to go inside and count the number of CCTV cameras, guards, and employees. To make it look less suspicious, Baby isn't alone. He's accompanied by a young boy, pretending to be his nephew. From the very beginning, Baby feels uncomfortable with this job. He knows innocent workers might get hurt during the robbery. When he gets back in the car, he's visibly nervous as he reports his findings to Doc.
Guard. 10. The tellers seem nice.
To make sure Baby doesn't try anything funny, Doc drives him home. He also tells Baby that he and Joe shouldn't have to live in a rundown apartment. That's why they need to keep robbing so they can move somewhere better. That night, Baby realizes he'll never be able to quit robbing unless he escapes Doc's control for good. So, he calls Deborah and invites her to run away with him to start a new life in another city. Of course, he doesn't tell her the real reason.
You ever gonna be another great fan of?
Just planning another heist is enough to make Baby sick. But what's worse is that this time he has to work with Bats again. That night, Doc gathers everyone to discuss the plan, and Bats is back to bullying Baby just like before. On the other hand, the rest of the crew includes Buddy and Darling, the couple we saw at the start of the film. Unlike Bats, Buddy and Darling truly appreciate Baby's driving skills.
Put your fucking foot on the gas.
That night, Doc explains that the target for tomorrow is a stack of postal money orders. Even though they're just pieces of paper, Doc has a contact who can turn them into real cash. But for the heist, they'll need brand new guns that can't be traced by the government. So Doc tells them to visit his contact, known as the Butcher. They finally arrive at the illegal weapons dealer's place. As soon as they get there, Bats starts flirting with one of the Butcher's guards. They clearly have history. But while checking out the boxes of weapons, Bats notices a police department logo. Suddenly, it all comes back to him. The person in front of him is actually a cop who once arrested Bats.
Biggs.
Bats opens fire, and the rest of the crew is forced to join in. Buddy and Darling were furious at Bats' reckless actions. The tension nearly exploded into violence between them, but Bats quickly explained who the gun dealer really was. In the middle of their argument, one of the surviving guards tried to escape the scene. On their way back to the hideout, Bats suddenly complained that he was hungry and insisted they stop at a restaurant they'd just passed. As it turned out, that restaurant was where Deborah worked, so Baby tried his best to refuse.
You should be thinking all.
Up to this point, nobody except Doc knows about Baby's relationship with Deborah. Thankfully, Bats didn't get suspicious about Baby's awkward behavior. In the restaurant, Bats and Buddy ended up arguing about each other's pasts. Even though Bats acted like a street punk, he managed to dig up everyone's backstory, including Buddy's, who used to be an office worker.
My friend here, he does.
As they were leaving, Bats threatened to pull a gun on the staff to get a free meal. Of course, this made Baby panic, so he bravely stepped in to stop Bats. Before leaving, Baby secretly slipped Deborah a note, letting her know the plan for their midnight escape. When they arrived back at the hideout, Doc greeted them furiously. He was furious that Bats and Buddy had killed his favorite arms dealer. The funny thing is, Doc already knew from the start that his contact was actually a cop.
Those pigs are in hog heaven.
To spell out.
Died bad.
Get out of town.
Doc no longer wanted to go through with the planned robbery, knowing the police would be after them after what happened. But Bats and the others were determined to go ahead. From the beginning, Doc suspected Bats was lying, so he asked Baby for his opinion. Fearing he'd be bullied by the others, Baby just said he wanted to sleep. Once things calmed down, Baby tried to sneak away, but just as he started the car, Buddy appeared and questioned him. At first, Buddy didn't seem to mind Baby trying to run, but then Bats showed up, and worse, he'd stolen Baby's recorder, the one he used to record conversations with Doc. Now, Baby was accused of being a traitor.
Cops couldn't come up with an excuse that fucking.
Glad in the morning. No, you don't.
When Baby regained consciousness, he found himself surrounded by dozens of his cassette tapes. Bats had taken them from Baby's apartment, and Baby worried about Joe's safety. Buddy reassured him they hadn't touched Joe. Their suspicions faded when they played the tapes and found nothing incriminating. But another problem popped up: a tape of Baby's conversations with Deborah. That reminded them she was the waitress from the diner they just visited. Not wanting his girlfriend dragged deeper into this, Baby promised not to mess up tomorrow's heist.
I'm available. I can take where he needs to go.
I'm your driver tomorrow.
The next morning, the heist begins. Buddy and Darling go in through the front, while Baby drops Bats off at the back entrance. Not long after it starts, Baby runs into the friendly worker who helped him the day before. He quickly signals her not to go inside, but instead of leaving, she calls the police.
Let's go!
As soon as Bats runs out, a shootout breaks out. Baby, unable to watch innocent people get hurt, finally decides to take matters into his own hands.
Let's go! Move this car! What the fuck did you do?
Buddy is furious at what Baby just did, but there's no time to argue. They have to run from the police. In the chaos, the crew splits up, and Baby escapes into a mall to lose the cops. The only way Baby could escape the police was by getting behind the wheel again. So, he quickly stole a car from the parking lot. But just as he sped off, he crashed ironically. The car he hit was being driven by Buddy and Darling.
Baby, you are fucking jinx!
When his lover was killed, Buddy went on a rampage, shooting at all the police without mercy. He even tried to kill Baby, blaming him for Darling's death. But with the police closing in on Buddy, Baby managed to slip away.
Car, ma'am.
Baby rushed to pick up Joe, who was still weak in their apartment. After gathering all his savings, he took Joe to a nursing home for safety. Since Joe was deaf and mute, Baby recorded his identity and his favorite foods on a recorder so Joe could hand it to the staff there. Now that Joe was safe, Baby had one last thing to do: save Deborah. Their plan was to escape the city together that night, but when Baby arrived at the diner to pick her up, Buddy was already there. From the start, Buddy knew Baby would come for his girlfriend, and in his mind, killing Deborah would be fitting revenge. But just as he was about to shoot, a police officer walked into the diner for a bathroom break. As Buddy was distracted, Baby seized the moment to attack. Baby and Deborah managed to escape while Buddy, only wounded, was left behind. To get out of town, Baby needed Doc's help. With Doc's connections and smarts, they'd have a real chance of escaping the police. But the problem was, Doc wasn't answering his phone. Running out of time, Baby decided to go to Doc's hideout himself, but first he needed a new car. Luckily, a muscle car passed by right in front of him. Baby wasn't just looking for Doc's help, he also wanted his tapes back, especially one that had his late mother's voice. As a trade, he brought Doc a bag full of money orders they had stolen from the post office. At first, Doc didn't care about any of Baby's reasons, but when he realized Baby was running away for love, just like he once tried to do, his heart softened. He changed his mind and even gave Baby a bag full of cash to help him start a new life. As they tried to escape, Doc was shot but survived. He told Baby to run while he still could, but then Buddy showed up, driving a police car. Doc was killed trying to protect Baby and Deborah. Baby didn't back down. He used Buddy's rage to lure him into a trap. A wild car chase followed. Realizing Buddy wouldn't stop until one of them was dead, Baby decided to fight back. He tried to finish Buddy by forcing his car off a high ledge. But at the last second, Buddy managed to survive. Buddy was killed instantly. When Baby regained consciousness, he realized they had escaped the police and were almost at the border. All of it was thanks to Deborah. But their hope for freedom was crushed when the FBI blocked their escape route. In the end, Deborah tried to make a run for it, but Baby stopped the car. He knew that if they kept running, their relationship would eventually be destroyed. So, Baby chose to turn himself in. Long story short, Baby went through trial. Many witnesses testified in his favor, including Deborah, Joe, and even the postal worker whose life he had saved. Thanks to all the positive testimonies, Baby was sentenced to 25 years in prison, but with a chance for parole if he kept out of trouble for 5 years. He had no choice but to serve his time. For the next 5 years, Baby waited patiently, dreaming of the day he would be free and able to start a new life with the woman he loved. That, folks, is the story of Baby Driver. From epic chases to impossible choices, Baby proves you can't really escape your past. But sometimes, with a little hope and a lot of heart, you can start over. So, what would you risk for freedom and for love? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget